I remember the first time I ever sang in public was a disaster. I was 9 years old. I sang in a show called Children's Hour over DYRI AM radio in Iloilo City. And the hall was filled with children who were there to read poetry, play the piano. I was there to sing. And the song that I chose was Granada. Granada, I've fallen under your spell. My first lesson in life, never sing a song whose lyrics you don't understand. So I was 9 years old, and in the middle of the song, I suddenly froze. I couldn't remember the rest of the lyrics. And so for about 5 seconds, people who were listening on the radio thought that, baka there was a brownout. And then finally, the host said, "Okay, thank you very much, Toto Chan. Here's your popsicle." I didn't feel like I deserved that popsicle, but anyway, I thought that that was the end of my brief singing career. So after that, I regained my self-confidence. I began to sing in school programs. Songs like "Remember When," I was my own backup singer. And then I was singing Elvis Presley song, "Oh, baby, let me be your loving teddy bear." And then when I was about 12 or 13 years old, suddenly I felt that it wasn't enough singing other people's songs. I began to compose my own songs. So I found it fascinating, challenging, and interesting. So that was it. I started to write many songs. However, looking back now, many of those songs that I wrote in the early stage of my career, they would sound derivative of the popular songs at the time. So they never saw the day, and they never left the scratch paper that they were written on. Then in high school, I joined a band. It was fun, but college was even more fun because I came to Manila, I went to the Ateneo, I took up my college degree there, and I joined the band, and all of a sudden, I was fascinated. There's so many pretty girls. There were more pretty girls than in Iloilo. So that encouraged me more to write songs. And, every time I met a pretty girl, I would say, "You're so pretty, I want to write a song for you, okay? Jeannie, you're the girl of dreams come true." And then when she turned me down, I used it again. That's called recycling. "Peachy, you're the girl of many dreams." Yeah. Until in 1965, ABS-CBN got me to host a TV show called 19ers. You were not born yet, I bet. 1965, 66. It was a show featuring bands like Electromaniacs, Tilt Down Men of Tito Soto. I was the host. "Get around, 19ers, come around, 19ers." And I was able to sing my original songs in that show. And all of a sudden, 2 or 3 recording companies approached me and asked if I would be interested to record an original song for them. I decided to pick JPL, Sunny Lozano, and we released the song Afterglow. The year was 1967. That was my first ever recording, Afterglow, and it became a minor hit. I remember going from Batanes to Zamboanga, approaching radio stations and requesting them to play the song Afterglow. And they listened to it, they said, "Okay, we'll think about it." And a few stations did pick it up. so that people would go to Raon Street, you know, the Tin Pan Alley, looking for Afterglow by Cliff Richard. Says, there's no Cliff Richard version of Afterglow. Afterglow is an original song. Jose Marie Chan. No, we want the original. Cliff Richard. That's when I realized that the timbre of my voice resembled that of Cliff Richard. And so for several years, my compositions, my original compositions, sounded like that of Cliff Richard.